Alright, hello everyone, and welcome back to a daily update, my 1000 days challenge. This is day 168. So yeah, over here you see the breakdown. It actually increased by a little bit, and that's actually due to the experimental trade setup. Instead of negative 473, now we're negative 393. So there was one long side trade that took in my favor, and that was here for Link USD pair. All right, so that's basically the only update. In terms of the main trading account, no much changes in that. I'm still in the long position for the main tokens like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and also Link. And otherwise, in the price action wise, I'm also in this position as well. So price action wise, I've entered above this 36.7K and it still remains valid. All right, and going back in terms of the market update wise, I would say market is more or less in somewhat like a consolidation kind of pattern. You'll see over here on the S&P 500, on the daily chart per se. Yeah, so over here there's some sort of consolidation or potentially distribution before we retrace further. So yeah, potential profit taking could take place, and if it does happen and fall over to at least the 50 simple moving average, or even at this horizontal daily support, then there'll be a great place for me to add in terms of long-term position wise. And yeah, so that's more or less about it. Similarly, you see potential distribution over here, but of course, it could also be considered as a consolidation. So difference between consolidation and distribution phase in equity market is actually very, I would say, at least in my opinion, I would say it's very hard for me to determine until the direction has been made. So generally speaking, I lean towards the side of consolidation until the key market structure has breached down, then that would be so-called a distribution phase, which is why I always emphasize there is a potential distribution phase, or when it's on the downward trend, I would say it's a potential consolidation phase. So yeah, otherwise, yeah, there's basically no major change in terms of the market structure for the traditional financial market. And then moving on to Bitcoin wise, things still looks a little bit, I guess, bullish overall, even though there's potentially a so-called bearish engulfing candlestick compared to yesterday, but volume looks not rather weak wise. So yeah, potentially if the daily chart, there could be some sort of consolidation pattern formed, and we could potentially form somewhat like an ascending triangle before breaking up to higher high. So in which case, what I could potentially see is we could form something like this. Yeah, so potentially we could form somewhat like this. This would be a very nice ascending triangle before we break upside towards the upside of things. So if it does happen, then yeah, project possible trajectory will be end of this month before we see a upside towards a higher high of the 50K or 60K region of Bitcoin. Of course, you could always have a further pullback, in which case you could have a more so-called a more standard kind of retracement pattern or consolidation or retracement pattern, which will be an ABC retracement. So that is potentially possible as well. So until it forms like somewhat like a ABC close to D wave, then I will be more likely to lean towards this symmetrical ascending triangle like pattern. So yeah, but in terms of the price action wise, I'm still leaning towards the long side trade. So I've entered this trade. So yeah, otherwise that's more or less about it. And that's the quick update I have for you guys today. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.